We are here with Robin Coblyn, the breeder of 4 times. I watched one of his races on the computer, and they were saying 4 times the trouble. I watched the one he won, or the most recent one he won. 4, yeah. He won 4. Okay, okay. So he ran his last race in December, and he is a 2008, right, coming 4-year-old, and he has gone back to Robin, who bred him but did not own him at the track. And Robin has a habit of going around and collecting the horses that she bred and getting them back so that she can find them. Tell us anything about his breeding that is interesting.
He is. He wants to talk on camera. He's by domestic dispute, who was, I think, 3rd in the Derby in his year, and a very nicely bred horse of himself, and gorgeous, gorgeous conformation. And he's out of a broodmare of mine called Rynot, who was caveat on the top and quadratic on the bottom. She goes back to, oh God, I'm just spaced on the dam's name, but one of the blue hen dams, several blue hen dams on her side, and then Rebo on the top, which is caveat, Rebos are really nice, long-winded stamina horses.
Distance horse.
And
I remember seeing caveat in the listings of steeplechase sires too.
Yes, he was, and so was quadratic. In Maryland here, he had quite a few babies. His babies didn't do that great on the track, flat track, but they did really well over fences. And so, you know, he was, when I bred the mare to domestic dispute was in his 2nd year, not his freshman year, and he didn't have any babies on the ground. And his babies were selling like hotcakes in Fasig-Tipton sale down in Kentucky. But by the time...
Did this one sell like a hotcake?
No, he didn't. You know, freshman sires are all like really hot, and then if their babies don't do well in their 2nd or 3rd year, then they kind of drop down the pole. And he didn't have a stakes winner in his first crop, so that kind of blew his status. So he was sold at the Maryland Mid-Atlantic Fasig-Tipton sale, and went to a gal named Gina Rosenthal and was trained by Jerry Robb. And
and he did pretty well.
He did pretty well. I mean, he was running cheap. He was never going to be a really nice horse, but I mean, he paid for himself. He brought home a check, and you know, he won 4 times, and he wasn't up to the competition after, you know, non-winners of 5, you know, and 4-year-olds, and so
they retired him when he was still in good shape.
Totally sound. He never had it really any issues.
Yeah, he's got nice clean legs. Yeah. Neat. And when you breed, do you consider, I mean, it sounds like you were looking at whether or not you'd be making a nice horse, not just a nice racehorse.
Exactly. The mares that I get, I always look at their bloodlines to make sure that they also have sport horse capabilities and possibilities in their bloodlines, because typically what I'll do is I'll breed a thoroughbred baby for the track, and then maybe the next year I'll breed it for a sport horse baby. So I like to mix it up, because I get really depressed when I let them go to the track. It really, you know, it makes me a little crazy, because you know, sometimes they don't find the best end. And that's one of the things I do with the people that buy my horses. I bug them. It's like, they got a home, they got a home, they got a home, and I follow them very closely.
Good. Well, hopefully we'll find a great one for this guy. We're at TaylorMade Stables in Damascus, and Robert Taylor has agreed to let us come here and do this, because the mud outside and the frozen ground ain't great right now to be running a horse around. He's in great condition. I mean, he's got lots of weight on him, and
well, he's been at my place now for not quite a month. And one of the things I pride myself on is keeping my horses in nice.
The way I found this horse, or the way I heard about him, was that he came over to our place for our barn manager, Emily Segrist, to take a peek at, and we're the ones that are getting him. Go play. Oh, who's that? There's a good-looking horse.
Come on,
If you can't tell from the video, he is registered as a chestnut. She registered him as a bay, and the Jockey Club told her no, he's a chestnut. He's a very liver chestnut. Show off a little bit, yeah.
Go the other way, big man. I did a lot of work navigating for CDE, so we always use the trail for a downward trend.
Right. That's a European thing, right? Yeah. That is fun. Show us your perfect lead changes. Okay. Well, I think that's good. I mean, I like him. I mean, he's obviously feeling pretty good, and he's got an interesting way of going, and we'll let the trainers evaluate that. You think you want to do this trainer challenge?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah?
I think it's really a wonderful idea. Oh, baby. You know, as somebody I've been involved in the thoroughbred industry since the mid-'70s, and I think it's really important that people understand that these are incredible athletes, and that they, you know, racing is one thing that they do, and the experience that they get and the groundwork, you know, not so much groundwork like you could compare to whether you were doing a dressage horse, but just the experience and the worldly knowledge that they get from being on the track and doing all that stuff just makes them wonderful horses temperamentally, because, you know, especially if they've got a good brain. And, you know, there are a few that maybe don't have a good brain, but for the most part, you know,
Watching this horse come off the trailer, it would have been interesting to get off the video. There was a puddle, a huge puddle, right off the back of the step-up trailer, and he put his head down and he looked at it. He was going into a new place with this big pool of water that he had to step down into. And he crouched, and he took a while, and he took a while, and then he finally decided it was safe, and in he went.
Yeah.
And that's
They're
the kind of
smart.
brain. That's the kind of brain we love. Yeah.
They're smart. And
Brave but careful.
He really, and I have another off-the-track thoroughbred at home right now who ended up not being able to work on her right away, and she never really got attached to people. But he's really a people person, which I think is really important to move ahead with their training. You don't have to go back to square one to establish a relationship.
So he's got a little bit of a scar right up here, right?
He
Where
got kicked as a
boo-boo.
yearling.
Right
before the sale, of course, and that's been x-rayed. It was never anywhere near the bone. Nothing was ever near the bone. But
He's got nice ankles and looks nice and tight.
Yeah.
His tendons.
Yeah. I'm very happy that he's come off really sound.
Yeah. Good feet. I'd take this horse home tomorrow and play with him.
There you go.
All right. Well, sounds good.
Well,
We'll
thanks so
see you
much,
at
and
the
thanks for
expo.
putting this together. I
Yeah.
think it's a great opportunity for a lot of people to see thoroughbreds and see
Yeah.
what they can do.
All righty.